yeah. On a Friday, riding on the highway. She said she won't come my way. That same Friday, she said make we run away. Go where nobody go there. Tell me the place, show me the way. Anywhere you want to go, fly away. Yeah, only you, no rival. I buy you motor, I'll be your driver. You can ride on me like a Okada. Baby, chop me anyhow like a father. Only you, only you. Say, only you, only you. Only you, no rival.
You are listening to True Talk with Ayodeji and Joy. It's gonna be a blast.
Being a Nigerian is great, but living in Nigeria is a great challenge because it comes with plenty of psychological draining challenges, from citizenship to leadership, morality and politics, education, economy and religion. Join Ayodeji and Joy on True Talk every Tuesday by 2:30 p.m. as we discuss crime, politics, education, economy and so many more.
You can follow us on Facebook at Aloore Radio or YouTube at Aloore Radio. True Talk. Discussing the problem and bringing you the solution.
A child in the distance, playing in the rain. The sweet sound of water flowing away. A construction worker coming home from work. Two parents and their children going to church. A happy little baby.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Now, there's a saying in my hometown, in my village, whatever you call it. It says, if a cockroach wants to roll over a chicken, then it must be ready to hire a fox as his bodyguard. And at the same time, in the same vein, if we as a people want to solve the so many multifaceted challenges we have in Nigeria, then we must be ready to take steps to stand as the solution for Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to True Talk.
The sweet sound of water flowing away. A construction worker coming home from work. Two parents and their children going to church.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to True Talk. My name is Ayodeji Adegbola. My friends call me H to the Y to the O to the D to the E to the J to the I, and they also call me the political doctor. And here with me on the show we have a beautiful damsel.
My name is Joy Ubu, and you're welcome to True Talk with Ayodeji and Joy.
For real, you really need to see the way Joy is dressed on the show today. She's looking like a tomboy. Really. Then I was asking her, Joy, why did you have to dress like this? I don't know. Do you want to say something?
Fashion, please.
Fashion?
Yes, fashion.
You are almost looking like me.
Please.
One extraordinary day. Let us have a world of ordinary people.
We started this new series on we were talking about Kill That Virus, which we did some few weeks back, and got so good. I think we have been able to exhaust it a little bit. Right? Yes, we did justice today a little bit, and we have to move. We have to be body, as some people will say. We have to move to another very very important topic which we need to treat, so that we can touch on so many facets of our Nigerian social and political life. On today's show, we'll be doing something which we have called Pick It Up. Don't drop it. Yeah.
Ordinary day. Let us have a world of ordinary people living life the way God.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you must be wondering, like, come on, what are they talking about again this time?
What are you picking?
What are you guys talking about? No, you just relieved, you just finished something that looks as if we don't really understand what is killed by virus. Now, you guys are talking about pick it up, don't drop it. Don't drop it. Come on, what are you guys picking? Okay, what are you guys not dropping? I don't understand you. Well, that's why we are here on the show. We are going to take you from the journey through the unknown to the known.
Yeah.
Please stay with us as this show promises to be very, very interesting.
You are listening to True Talk with Ayadeji and Joy. It's gonna be a blast.
All right, pick it up, don't drop it. Now let's start on this note. There was a day, Joy. There was a time, maybe a few months ago. I was on a transit. I was on an interstate transit. I was going to Ondo State precisely. Then I happened to board a vehicle with some very funny people. Well, when I mean funny people, I don't mean they're really funny. I mean by character. Some very few funny people. In the bus, a lady bought banana, the other bought plantain, the other bought, they were just buying a whole lot of things all around. And I was telling them, I was looking at them, okay, fine, they are buying stuffs, and I looked around inside the bus. There was no place for them to trash anything. Then I was hoping to see some of them would keep some of these things inside their bag or inside their
nylon
or inside or inside the nylon or something like that. That's what I was hoping. Only for me to see the first person sent a banana peel flying
over the window
outside. The second person did the same thing. Then I was wondering, hey. Then I called one of them. I called their attention to it. This thing you are doing, please stop it. Biko, me not stop it. Oh, even not joking that they do. Me not stop it. This guy is they were just looking at me as if what's wrong with this guy? Are you the only one? Are you the only one seeing them? Are you not from Nigeria? Like I when I continued talking and I was feeling they were thinking, looking at me like a foreigner, as if some of them even said this guy must have been from Lagos. Then I was running, so it's only Lagosians.
No, are you saying Lagos? Lagos is not, let's say, probably out of the country.
It is assumed that when you're in Lagos and you throw stuff like that outside the window, and if you are caught, you'll be punished. Some is assumed. I don't know if they still practice that much about that. So this day, I told them not to do this. Eventually, we almost got somewhere, and because we were sitting very close to the back of the seat of the car of the bus. Eventually, so the driver just slowed down. Then this lady with banana peel threw another peel, and lo and behold,
after you complained,
it landed on the soldier's head.
Wow.
So, and I believe that's the end of the story. Trust me, it was not something very funny. So today on the show, we are actually going to talk about pick that trash up, don't drop it. That's the revelation here.
This is the trash. Okay, before we go any further, we actually want to look at why people litter. Why do people litter? I was walking with a friend the other day, and we were in a place where there were no trash for him to throw his bin, to throw what he was holding into, and then he was like, there's no trash here, where will I toss this? And I was like, why don't you just put it in your pocket? At least it's nylon, or we'll soon get to where we are going. When we get there, you will see a bin. So why do you think people throw dirt anyhow? Why do you think they do that?
God wants us to, and if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary things will happen to me and you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, before we go any further, we want to tell you that we'll be asking you some few questions towards the end of the show, where we'll be talking about what's the question all about. we are asking you about comments about your experience in your area due to pollutions and what you think can be done to solve this. So to answer the question, I believe that you also must have been thinking about it. Why do we litter everywhere? Well, to me, there's this saying that says that there are two chicken knives that you see. There are two chicken knives that you find in the home of a lazy man. One is sharp, and the one that is sharp has no head, and the other that has head is not sharp. Now, in the same fashion, the issue we have at hand is not because the government is not really doing much. Successive governments in Nigeria, they've been able to do stuff. At least I still know of the Establishment Act of 1988, which is all about Federal Environmental Protection Act. That's FEPA in 1988. But ever since then, these guys, they've been trying to curtail this issue, try to make sure that we, at least to an extent, we are behaving according to the norms. That's normally. But I feel the reason why we have this whole challenge is a cultural problem. That's the first thing.
Cultural problem.
How do I mean, right? Now, what I mean by that is that we have this belief and understanding that waste is totally useless in Nigeria.
Yes.
So as such that, because when you believe that waste your, like, whatever you've eaten, whatever you've done, your banana, your just anything, to you, to us, to everybody in Nigeria, is average person in Nigeria, it is totally useless. As such as that, after eating, you have to throw it away.
Well,
So
I feel because of laziness and carelessness.
Yeah, I'm talking from the foundation now. It's a cultural understanding that after you eat something, you feel that you have consumed everything, that it is no more useful. Now, when you know that after eating, that thing you've eaten itself can still give you money, can provide wealth for you, you will realize that now you now know that
you need to keep it well.
You need to keep it well. So your waste is not totally a waste. Your waste can be a wealth. Exactly, that's the point. So that's number one.
Political doctor.
Exactly, as you will say. So another thing is the issue of problem of collection of waste bins, of waste, and at the same time issue with disposal. Really, there's some areas around my area like that where I stay. I just discovered that when you see some people around 9 o'clock, when you see them, they carry something and they are walking small. This guy is going to drop trash somewhere, and they were like, "Hey, if I catch you."
That brings me to say that most people actually blame the government for not providing a trash can,
really,
in a place where they can actually throw their debts.
Yes, you are very correct. But at the same time, I don't want to believe that it's just all about the government. Number one, the government are not really doing well for you, because I myself, don't let me talk about. Even in a government circle, government environment, the presence of the government. Where government is really manifesting, where you can see the government. Where you're doing the day-to-day activities of the government. You understand what I'm trying to say? Ask yourself, how many places can you see being placed strategically? How many?
Well,
how many?
Well, not so much, but
just a few.
In Bodija.
In Bodija.
There.
Even we know where we're talking about.
Government, what I've seen in Oyo State recently is that Governor Seyi Makinde has actually placed all those bins in strategic places. But when people want to toss their bin, when they see that it's already full, they are still dropping it by the side. I don't know.
If that's just what we want to talk about.
Can't one of them actually call there should be a number where they will call that, oh, this thing is full, come and carry it.
No, as far as I understand, to the best of my knowledge, there are some numbers which there are agencies in charge of this. But that's why I said there are issues. One of those issues is, one, we have issues with collection of debt itself. Collection of debt. Now, the issue with disposal. No, even to our health sector, our hospitals now, you will discover that there's this issue. Our medical practitioners they don't really dispose their debt very well.
Really?
For example, antibiotics.
Okay.
Yeah, and injections. Expired products, expired drugs. Where do you think they go to when you have a drug? When you have a drug or a medicine in your room, that is expired, where do you keep it? You still keep it in your room, or thinking you want to just trash it on somewhere?
Throw it
Just
to the trash can.
it should not be. You should return it to the hospital. I feel you should return it to the hospital, and the hospital has a right. I feel they should regulate it as such that the hospitals, those guys have to return it back to these guys, NAFDAC. That way, it can be well protected, or we can save ourselves from a lot of damage, even to the soil. Because I've discovered through the research that when we have antibiotics, when you have antibiotics inside your soil, right? Now it affects the soil organism, and the reprisal effect of that is that it also affects women through the food.
Political doctor, I want to throw this question to you. Is it because some people feel like it's not good to burn their waste? It's not good to burn their waste. What are you going to say about that?
Well, I feel that there are so many ways of disposing your trash, disposing your
But
trash.
do you think it's right for them to burn it?
Well,
I believe that it affects the ecosystem according to scientists.
Yes, it does. It does. That's why in this new age we are talking about degeneration of things. I mean, wait. That's why we are talking about recycling. Yeah, that's why I started from the basis of for saying that we have this belief and mentality. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have this belief and mentality that our waste is a waste and is wrong. That's why I said that the other time. Our waste can give us wealth. Huh? That's what I was saying. That's the point I was trying to make there.
Cause no single leader is worth dying for. No ordinary mother cry herself to sleep, cause no ordinary father will come home after 3 a.m. that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, you are listening to True Talk with Joy and Ayodeji. And now we are talking about what?
The effects of littering.
The effect of littering, yeah, which we have called it pick it up, don't drop it. Exactly. Yes. Now we are talking about its effects on your environment, the effect on you. Now I want to divide the effect to two. We'll be looking at the effects from the environment, at the same time the effect on human. This how this thing works.
That it's not just human, it even affects the forest, the soil.
Yeah, that's why I say environment.
Oh, sorry.
So this is how this thing works. Number one, it moves from whenever during my campaigns before now, I tell people, we find it very convenient and comfortable to walk on the streets. Now, we find it very easy. Imagine they are selling biscuits at gate, for example. Or imagine they are selling pure water at gate, for example. You can easily walk to gate and buy that pure water. But for you to trash that sachet of pure water is the problem.
It does it.
Now, when you toss it anyhow, and it rains, it moves from the ground or from the floor or whatever you throw it to, it moves into a canal, and from the canal it moves into your river, and from the river, from the river it moves to the coastal area, then from the coastal area straight inside the ocean.
One thing I think that people do that for, just toss their dirt anyhow, is because they feel like, okay, this is not my house.
Okay,
my house is very far from where I drop this dirt, so it's not going to affect me.
Yeah,
that's why I think people do that. People toss their dirt anyhow.
Yeah, just to back up what you say, I love using the adage a lot. There's this adage that says that a young man that pee inside the river.
My goodness,
you don't know that probably someone behind your house is coming to fetch that water to cook for you. Something like that.
Imagine the rain. When the rain drops, all those pee, just carry to the river, and then you be like, oh, I drink bottled water.
Okay.
It's not going to affect me.
It's not going to affect you.
Do you know where they get the bottled water from?
Yeah, exactly. So let's go back to where we're talking, where you're coming from. We're talking about the effects on our environment. So the first one, which I want to talk about, is you really need to know that it takes 1,000 years for your plastic, even your nylon, to get decomposed. You don't know.
Do they ever decompose?
Yeah, it takes 1,000 years. Research. It takes 1,000 years. And at the same time, it has been predicted by United Nations and some few other prominent agencies that says that by 2050, it has been predicted that we may end up having more fishes. we may end up having more plastic than fishes in the river due to all of these things we are doing. So we are affecting the ecosystem, we are affecting even the marine mammals. So at the same time, it says that it has already affected 100 million marine mammals yearly. Over 100 million marine mammals yearly dies because of all of this trashing of something inside the river and what have you. So at the same time,
it's not even that they trash it into the river. When they trash it anywhere, they are comfortable trashing it, and the rain carries it into the river.
Also, to wrap up this research work, they said UN also says that at least 800 species worldwide is affected with this our bad habit of disposing something. So we need to take something. What we are ingesting, we can ingest something as nano and as microplastic. When we are talking about nano sim, micro sim, very small. Now, these things forms, and it can be as little as it creeps into what you eat, into what you eat, even into your skin, even into your water. Yes. And because of time, we should also talk about its effect. It also causes diseases. Really, these people don't know a lot. And one of the few things that you know is just diarrhea. My dear brother and sister, if you are listening to me right now, the effect of this just trashing things anyhow is huge. It's also caused this thing which I have called this thing which they call elephantiasis.
Wow.
Yeah. Elephantiasis, which they also call it lymphatic filariasis.
That's the political doctor talking.
I'm serious, really. And the meaning of that is, the manifestation of that is that, number one, the person grows abnormal enlargements of body parts. You must have seen some people with their hand very big, on very big hand like this.
Yes.
And see their leg very big. Exception. Have you seen anybody like that, Joy?
I think so.
I have someone very close to my. His leg is actually very big, and some part of the hand is very big.
I think it was caused by that.
It was caused by this thing, and the worst thing is that this thing they are also carried. This, I can't call it virus. This is disease.
Infectious.
Infection. Yes, they are carried by mosquitoes. Some mosquitoes, a special kind of mosquito. Let's talk about. We have one of them. We have coolers. We have coolers mosquitoes. At the same time, we have Anopheles mosquitoes. Really, you don't want to be a victim of those guys. So we are telling you on the show today, because of our time, that you need to be very careful the way you trash your trash. Allow me to use your trash. So you should take it. Don't drop it.
Don't just drop it anyhow.
You know the result of that. Please, because of time, we will want to rush it. Let's go to our comment section. Let's read through some of the comments we have on our social media platform after this turnout.
And let us consider ordinary Joe.
All right.
Okay, because of our time, we will just be taking 2 comments. Sorry to our listeners. So, Ola.
You can as well try to summarize them.
Okay.
Maybe let's just try to summarize.
Ola Misoji Tolu from Ijaba, Akure, Ondo State says that is actually calling the attention of the government of Ondo State to the gully. She said that there is a gully created by erosion somewhere close to Kajola last bus stop. The gully continues to become wide and deep each passing year, constituting danger to people around, especially for people who may not be familiar with the environment.
I also want to take one from Joss Chinekumisi from Plateau State. She says, in my community we have a problem of discriminate disposal of waste. You mean she's saying that people throw waste inside their waterways at the same time, and people just burn them anyhow, which is causing a problem for them. Yeah, let's take another person, please.
Daniel Chidoze said, from Oyo State, pardon, said, on environmental pollution, I believe we cannot overemphasize the need to enlighten the people on the need for proper refuse disposition. The rainy season is here already, and if people continue to dump refuse on waterways, the erosion will keep causing havoc on the road and houses close to those waterways.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Because of our time, I will be leaving you on this ending note. Please be careful. I heard over the news they said Lagos should be prepared for, that's Vanguard newspaper on the April 21st, April, some few days ago, Lagos should be prepared for 261 days of rain. I bet you. But if we continue with this habit of indiscriminate disposal of waste, then we are in trouble. Special thanks to our sponsors, special thanks to our partners. We also want to appreciate our director, Mr. Joy and Mrs. Ojo, Mr. Deji, our producer. Thank you very much. God bless you. Please stay tuned with Aloore Radio, and together we are telling you, pick that trash, don't drop it. We love you. Catch you next.
Listening to True Talk with Ayodeji and Joy. It's gonna be a blast.